This video is brought to you by my latest book, How to Play Melodic Rock Lead Guitar, a comprehensive guide to doing exactly that, playing melodic rock lead guitar. This is not just some collection of scale patterns and tabs, although you do get plenty of those, but you also get an entire chapter on how to come up with your own licks, as well as video content, tutorials and demonstrations, loads of jam tracks, and all the way through I'm encouraging you to expand your fretboard knowledge and showing you how you can think in a more musical and melodic way. Check out the link in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Do you remember a couple or 3 weeks ago, I'm not sure when it is because, you know, the videos kind of get made long before they go out and so on. But recently I did a video about a Yamaha Pacifica 604W that was very, very kindly loaned to me by a chap called Adrian, who drove quite a long way to bring the guitar to me, and you know, we had a chat about the guitar, and I did my usual kind of demo thing with it, and obviously we had a conversation much longer than the one that you actually saw as part of that video. And the topic of, you know, learning to play the guitar cropped up, and you know, self-teaching or being self-taught as opposed to taking lessons. And yeah, Adrian had had a pretty bad experience with a local teacher, where I think he turned up as a rank novice to this teacher, and the teacher had said to him, "So what sort of music do you want to play then?" And he said, "Oh, quite like a bit of Santana," and that this teacher then proceeded to teach a complete beginner the tab for Europa. It's jumping the gun a little bit, I would have thought. You know, and this is often the case with many guitar teachers who have been accomplished, successful guitar players. This chap was a member of a rock band who you would probably recognise the name of if I were to name it, but I'm not going to. You know, he was an accomplished, successful guitar player who, between gigs or whatever, had decided to earn a little bit of a side hustle from doing lessons. And yeah, people like that often have such a depth of knowledge and experience, and there's all of those things which are just second nature to them that they don't even think about. It's as obvious as breathing or staying upright while you're walking, that they forget that at one point they had to learn how to do these things. And you know, when they're trying to convey that information, they miss out all of these kind of techniques and skills that are necessary because they're just, you know, as I say, second nature. It's something that I, you know, kind of encountered when I first started teaching the guitar. I had to kind of take a couple of steps back and think, yeah, I basically just thought, well, that guy didn't get that, and I didn't immediately think, well, you know, it must be his fault. I thought, well, what did I miss out? But some guitar teachers don't do that, and that's what puts a lot of people off guitar lessons. That's, you know, the thread I'm pulling at here. I want to know what your experiences are. Are you self-taught? Are you? I'm pretty much self-taught, although I did have a brief encounter with a local guitar teacher in this part of the world 30 odd years ago, who was, shall we say, he was cut from the same cloth as the chap that Adrian had his encounter with. Didn't really learn much, it has to be said. So I'm mainly self-taught, and what my goal is with the lessons that I do is to not necessarily just give people facts. I give them problems to solve. Like, well, how would you know what note to land on over that chord? And show me what scale you would play over the top. Oh yeah, that didn't sound quite right, did it? Let's have a look at why, and kind of pull at that thread there, you know. So we're very much in the business of solving problems, and nudging the client, student, you know, whatever you want to call the people who come to me for lessons, in the right direction. Essentially trying to get them to discover, them to have these light bulb moments rather than just throwing a load of facts and tabs at them. That's the approach I take in the books that I've written, links in the description. So have you had good or bad experiences with guitar teachers, or are you self-taught? I think that, you know, the best way to learn quickly is to get a good teacher, but you know, they're not all, as we found out, necessarily they're not all good ones out there. There are some that may be great guitar players, but they don't necessarily have the knowledge of how to put that information across, shall we say. Have you had encounters with teachers like that, or have you had a great guitar teacher that's really helped you along? Get a great guitar teacher and you will gain an understanding and a depth of knowledge that you'd struggle to attain over the same period of time without the teacher. That's the advantage of getting a good teacher. The advantage of or having good quality guitar lessons. The advantage of teaching yourself is that everything that you discover, every little problem that you solve, every kind of thing that you figure out on the fretboard, you feel like you've invented it. You feel like you own it. It's yours. And that was my experience as I was figuring out all the usual sort of stuff that I go on about videos about modes and pentatonic scales and, you know, and chord tones and rhythmic sort of stuff. You know, it took a long time, and various parts of my life got neglected along the way. You know, I was in a whole load of trouble with my parents because whilst I was learning about, you know, the fretboard, I was neglecting things like exams and school, and, you know, I left school without a single qualification. I got some in the end. You know, I kind of got my act together and, you know, retook the exams that I'd miserably failed when I was at college when I was at school, because I was, you know, kind of focused on the guitar. You know, it took time, and it took effort, really, but it didn't feel like effort at the time. It was something I was genuinely interested in. I was enjoying what I was doing. I was enjoying the journey of discovery, and this is in the days long, like decades before we'd even heard of anything called the internet. You know, this is in the days when, you know, if someone owned a computer, it probably had the word Sinclair on it somewhere. You know, so information wasn't as readily available, and when you stumbled across some little golden nugget of a useful fact, boy, you pulled at that thread. It was like gold dust. I want to figure out where this is all over the neck. You know, I want to kind of figure out what happens if I apply it in this situation or that situation. These were in the days when, you know, the only information you got was a guitar magazine once a month. And, you know, even that for me was 2 bus rides away. So, you know, because the information was scarce, it was more precious and you valued it more. And that was my kind of journey as a self-taught guitarist. And as I say, you know, there are a lot of, shall we say, not great guitarists who aren't necessarily great teachers out there, and I hear a lot of horror stories about people who've, you know, had encounters with that kind of person. Have you? As I say, have you? Share in the comments if you've had experiences of that kind of guitar player or guitar teacher, or likewise, if you've had experiences of a great teacher, someone who's really helped you along. Let's give them a shout out in the comments as well. It could be an in-person teacher. It could be doing what I do, like, you know, kind of YouTube videos and kind of Zoom calls and stuff like that. That is what makes up the bulk of my work these days, working with people all over the world via the magic of Zoom. So, you know, I just want to know what sort of experiences that you, my loyal viewer, have had over the years. Learning to play the guitar. What's been your journey? What's been, you know, the pitfalls that you've experienced, and what have you gained from it? And what would you like to gain from it moving forward? You know, what are the goals that you still have, and how are you addressing them? This is the sort of typical thing I do on a Thursday these days, where I'm just thinking out loud in a video and probably rambling a bit too much. Bottom line, how did you learn to play the guitar? What were your experiences, good or bad? Leave them in the comments. And that is the video for today, folks. Let me know your thoughts. Hope you've enjoyed my rambling around for how long we've been going, 10 minutes or thereabouts. Hope you've enjoyed my ramblings, and if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like as well while you're at it? And of course, don't forget the live stream tomorrow and every Friday, 5 PM UK time. We drink beer and have a chat, basically, because it's Friday. It's a fantastic way to kick off the weekend, I reckon, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.